Annoying. Not the nicest way to start the stream. Ugh. Oh well. Oh well. Just how it go. Ooh. Ahoy era. Hello, hello. Oh, shit. Hmm. Blender. Missing DNA block. Go to recovery and save files again. Damn it. Got corrupted. That crash took out my file. Hmm. Okay, let's try making a new file. We're gonna make a new scene. Or something. New scene. Delete this one. We just have this scene here. We're gonna go file, append. Hmm. Alright, so we are missing everything in here. That's rough. Just an empty file now? Fuck. That's rough. Not quite what I want.
So it's about time to crash this out. Intentional, but I'm sure it doesn't take my back to get my file back. So to do this, there are two ways to do this actually. The first method is to click file, and then you go to the cover and you click on auto save. So when you click on auto save, you have a list of um, saved files by Blender. It's very super gracious. So all you,
I didn't see any autosave files. Well, recover, autosave. Yeah, that's just this. That's just this.
you find launch recover crack, just take out the window.
Name this to blend one. All right, actually, let me duplicate it and do blend one, and we'll try loading. Hello, Sky. Welcome. We're struggling with some with a crash. Took out my files, fortunately. It's a little sad. Missing DNA block. Mm. Oh, that sucks. Yep, we just lost that. A lot of stuff was lost. Not a crazy amount, but definitely an hour or two of work. Useless. I think I have to assume that that's it. Okay. So let's get back into it. We'll open up. Oops. This one. At least I finished the hair. That would have been bad. If I had lost the hair, I would have been really upset. Okay. Let's go ahead and double check our save and load. Auto save. Wait 10 minutes. Mm. All right. One last shot. Okay. So we'll take this, we'll overwrite our file here. Hmm. Just had to try everything. Had to try everything. Okay. Now back to here. Save as on top of Lorian. Boom. Okay. That's good. Oh, we lost more work than that. I had fused the body this time. God dang it. That sucks. Oh well. Oh well. Where is my tablet? Where's my tablet? Autosave wasn't on. Usually I just do manual saves. I've never had this happen to me actually. Probably a testament to Blender. I've never had a crash like that. Blender's crashed before and I've lost work, but I've never had it corrupt. So that definitely sucks. Bummer. All right. I have definitely turned it on now. Just it can get slow on saving. I think I turned it off a while back because it just, especially with bigger files, like if you're working and then it's saving all the time, it just gets in the way a little. Let's turn on remesh. And we'll do a filter. Smooth. But also, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day. Hello, hello. So much to redo. Got the neck, or the fuse of the body, which we did most of. We didn't lose too much there because we have all the main shapes. The clothing's really the sad part. Everything else, I think, we're good with. If I had lost the hair, that would have been really rough. Because that took me a while. Well, you know what they say. Computer and working with digital art. If you don't do it 3 times, did you really do it right? Hair is hard to regrow. Hello, Zoom. Hello, welcome. Doggy, cool weeb. So is this what the VR chat avatar creation looks like? No wonder it's 100 gigabyte plus worth. I'm in the sculpting process, and then we make a simpler version on top. It's called retopology. Morning, Zoom. Good morning, Vicky. Hello. Good morning, everyone. No, let's separate it first. Do multi-res 0.001 and then filter. Do you have a question for avatar auto animation options? Well, depends on what you. I'm not quite sure what you'd be referring to there, like IK systems, inverse kinematics, and things like that. Move that up. That's good. And smooth this a little. And then I'm actually gonna give it a little bit more volume. Not bad. But yeah, what's your question, doggy? Doggy, cool. I thought of a question as well, Sam. Is it possible to have gravity on the Abbey, where the ears could always droop towards the floor? Absolutely, absolutely. That is definitely possible. I already cut the butt. That's good. Think of an anime avatar named Ippopo Makunochi from Hajime no Ippo, a boxing anime. Is it possible to animate multiple animations options like punches? It may be a little complicated if you just wanted to, that was your main project, like that's the only thing you want to do. There's certainly a few steps, but it is possible. Yes, you can make completely custom animations in Blender or Unity and bring those into VR chat. So your only difficulty is going to be setting up something called an animator, which is like the logic behind when animations should happen and how to integrate that with your character. But you can definitely do it. Most defo. So you can just make an animation of punching the liver or head. You could make punch animations. You couldn't. It would be difficult to target other people. But you could certainly, like, if you're in VR, you could do a punch yourself and then have like like some sort of effect. Impact effects. There's some particle systems that allow that. Um, but you could like, it's like you could put a fizz bone on the end of your hand, so if you move it fast enough, it triggers an animation. So what's interesting about VR chat is there's a lot of overlap between like your own autonomy in doing things. Um, yeah, for if you're just a PC user, then you're not really going to have that flexibility. I think there's ways to target things on other people's bodies, but it's very complicated. Um, it's not a built-in thing in VR chat, unfortunately, unless you have VR, and then you can just physically do it. Which is kind of fun. I do like that. There's a lot of interest, intriguing qualities to that overlap. Just want to have that kind of avatar so you box someone in the boxing world. I'm sure it's out there. There's a lot of cool like Dragon Ball Z ones um, that do somewhat similar things. It did lose more work than I thought. No, the feet are fused. Okay. I think I just didn't do the torso work. Well, Quest 2s are about to get really cheap. They're going to be $200 now. Seems like Meta's gearing up to announce another headset soon. So they're lowering the price on the Quest 2s. No, the other world where there's rings, world called VRC boxing. I guess you could create an entire animation like the dances, but avatar punching. Yeah, I think that's totally possible. Um, but if you're unfamiliar of working with how to set up animations in Unity, it could be a little bit of a challenging project to just go from zero to that. Uh, Doable, but just be prepared for a bit of a struggle. MMD, MMA, MMDA, MDMA. But does that boost the avatar's popularity? I'm not quite sure what that would mean. Like, if those features would make it more popular, I would guess so. That'd be my guess, but um, yeah, not quite sure. Not quite sure what you mean by that. Um, I suppose I'm just not sure the context. I just wish to have one. Well, I'm sure with some searching that you could definitely find something similar. If not, you can always commission someone like myself, or there's tons of artists out there that do this kind of work. Um, there's good discords out there, and there's a lot of resources to learn now. Torso. Torso! Yeah, I did a bunch of work on the leg that I don't see anymore. Damn. Balls. Oh well. Takes me back. I haven't lost work like this in a long time. But art keeps you humble. I'm gonna stand up. I got an avatar that has multiple syncable dances. Like when you dance, the nearby players will dance. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've seen that before. That might. Maybe it's a world thing. Yeah, but it doesn't control their position. That's the issue you're going to run into. I guess you could have someone like stand in a seat. They have the little seat things. You haven't seen that How to Train Your Dragon and meme avatar lol? Stories doesn't work. Same probably works with players who have the same avatar as you. Okay, well that makes more sense to me because I was like, how the heck would you control someone else's avatar? That's like, that would be something that I think people would very quickly tire of if you could control people's avatars just by doing something to them. I think that's almost like TOS violating. um, why my career choice are dumb for my parents and family. Um, well, I hope you're doing something you love. Not quite sure the context here. But hello, Code Nick. Welcome. Good morning. Are you saying your parents aren't being supportive of your career? Doo -doo -doo. Okay, the legs look a little wobbly here, a little mushy. Mushy. That looks better. There's such a balance between making legs look too thin and like have enough form where they feel like they can actually support things. Bad enough you can affect each other's screen space. That got annoying fast when I first joined VRC. Yes, I think there's been some. I've seen people use it to funny effect, but it's certainly, uh, you know, you think that would be one of the things you wouldn't want. They want me to do or involve in the business or government jobs, but I'm having literally 0% interest in that field. I think no matter what, you're always gonna. I mean, for me, I definitely I can only speak from my experience. I don't regret pursuing this direction in terms of like making a career out of this. But it just depends on what you value. You know, it's like, do you value security more? Do you value like there's a lot of risk in this kind of field. Um, and I don't think there's anything wrong with uh, pursuing stability over uh, other things. The Avatar has a lot of silly and sus dances, like the hip sway, and you get Rickroll dances. Reminds me of a Lolathon. Well, I certainly wish you well finding what makes sense for you, Code Nick. I'm sitting down again. I stood up, we sat down. Stood up, we sat down. I'm just gonna stay sitting now. I'm having interest in coding and game development, but this is the thing which is not common in my country. They think there is no scope in that stuff. You should tell them that video games make more money than Hollywood, than movies. And now all I do in VR chat is wander with the catnap avatar, finding my interest of avatars on a journey of self discovery, avatar discovery. All right, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and save here. Backup copy, even though I know now that we have autosaves. My journey, it continues, leaves the chat. Well, enjoy your search, doggy, Doge, and thank you for coming by. By the way, the headset is amazing. Oh, very cool. Yeah, how's your experience with it going? I'm very interested to hear. Sky just got a big screen beyond headset. I've been thinking over the weekend. I'm like, I would kind of kill to have a Vision Pro. Like, how cool would it be to bring your work with you outside in like a really tangible, tactile way? I don't know. It suddenly got really tempting, more than I expected. And then a big screen beyond as well. So I want the extra quality. Coolio. Very nice, very jelly. By the way, I have my roadmap and all things planned. Just hope that it will work. We'll get. And no matter what direction you go, it's going to be a lot of hard work. Um, it's definitely doable. Um, but always focus on maintaining your health. Wishing you well, Code Nick. I understand that journey. Understand that journey. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly on Discord or anything, or just need some more direct advice. I just want less neck strain. Well, absolutely. Well, the glare is a thing, but the image is so fine that I don't care about it. It really feels like you're not wearing anything. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. Gotten this headset because neck pain. But I'm just asking to go for 2D or 3D starting in game design. Okay. Uh, are you asking me which direction to go? I think 3D is going to have a little bit more stability in the short term. But things are going to change rather quickly with how technology is shaping up. Um, just getting in the mindset of learning tools, learning how to make things for yourself, and learning how to learn those things quickly is really the skill you're after in this day and age. Like, I don't think you can really commit to one software because odds are there's going to be some new tool that you learn soon. What am I trying to say? I think the tools are going to start changing really quick, so it's good to just be adaptable and focus more on being flexible. Fundamentals are pretty similar, and a lot of 2D is made with heavy use of 3D. Yeah, the latest X-Men show, X-Men 97, I think, um, is 3D. It had such a 2D look, but apparently it's all 3D. Well, I shouldn't say it's all 3D, but there's a characters are 3D and stuff. All right, a little bit of an elbow. Enjoy learning process because that's all you're going to do, Lowell. It's very true. You are just learning constantly, which I think is the main attraction to myself, for myself, and when learning these things is like it's a puzzle. You're just constantly pulling apart some puzzle, and a puzzle that appeals directly to your own interests. So, started learning Unreal Engine, but thinking of game design at later part of my learning journey. Um, with video games, you're pretty much going to learn a little bit of everything. uh, it's kind of an all-consuming um, career. You kind of touch on so many different areas in with this kind of work: math, science, psychology. That's the fun part. I really do think education should just be replaced with learning how to make video games. I think that would actually be really beneficial. Um, because it does so many different things, but you can accomplish things in different ways. Um, I don't know. See a lot of benefit for something like that. Learning how to learn and how to find the right information, arguably the most important skill you develop. Absolutely. If you can find the right tutorial faster, then you're good. You don't have to know it as long as you can find the person who does know it. Good. What do you think of the scope of indie game developers in the future? Um, I think as technology improves, indie developers will be able to make bigger and bigger experiences. And probably the line between AAA and game and indie is going to blur a lot over the next 10 years or so. Um, Especially looking at things like MetaHuman. Unreal Engine in particular is very focused on trying to bring the ceiling as close to the floor as possible. Maybe that's a weird metaphor, but like the idea that you can just anyone could make a AAA quality character using their tools easily. It's fully rigged and ready to go. Like there's just going to be that there's going to be a lot of synergy there. Um, I think that indie developers though should still focus on really bite-sized and small experiences um, in terms of like what the core experience is. Your number one concern being an indie developer is just trying to make something that's just straight up outside of your abilities at the time. It's like everyone wanted to make the MMO RTS FPS game. Everyone thought of that, and guess what? It's just too complex. It's just too big, and it's too big to make fun for now, at least. I recommend checking out some devs that stream their work. They tend to give out a lot of valuable advice for free. Absolutely, absolutely. Pirate software is popular, especially Thor is pretty entertaining and has a lot to share with newer game creators. Whoa, excuse me. Cool. Characters coming together. I think we'll just go ahead and fuse the body completely right now. God, MMOs are gigantic projects, mind-bogglingly so. Yes. Yeah, I think I was thinking the other day though, Like, if you could just make some sort of Unity project, like VR chat right now is very much built on top of um, Unity, obviously. But what if you could just use Unity itself as like the game engine? Like, instead of making, like, if I had a little Unity scene on my computer, I could load my character into that scene, and then I could have someone else load their character into that scene, and they could have a completely different way of controlling things. But I feel like you could just make a very decentralized kind of game, or kind of network, where you could like if you wanted to bring in other people, you just share the scene with them and then download their character. And it's just like you're just transferring little Unity assets back and forth. Um, anyway, just a thought. Because I feel like the future, in my mind, it's like so many so many of the games nowadays are just like VR social games, and any game is just limited by these kind of idea of what constraints they should make. But maybe we just use the game engine. Would it be optimization hell? It depends. It really depends. I think obviously you would loading assets would be a huge would be the biggest problem. You would still have to optimize your scenes and stuff like that, just like VR chat does. And VR chat has that same problem where there very much are things that are unoptimized, and because people can load in the biggest character they can think of. Make it a platform instead of a game by itself, sort of distant. Exactly, yeah. So instead of building an executable, it'd be more modular Unity pieces. Exactly, exactly. And like each, you could have your own custom character controller, whether you want it to be a PC controller, whether you want it to be an VR controller. You know, you just make your own custom controller, and and as long as people own certain assets, or we come up with open source versions like Final IK, things like that. Uh, you do a lot of interesting things. Actually, I mean, you the main game could buy the assets just like VR chat, and then people plug into it and get a benefit from using those things. Normally, characters all make use of the same systems. If every component needs to load their own thing, that'd be quite some data. I'm sure there'd have to be some sort of some standards you'd want to set. But you could imagine that there could be a variety of systems. AI could probably figure it out. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I actually want to ask ChatGPT. We'll use we'll use my custom GPT that I made for myself. Udon GPT, my favorite. Um, let me search history. I want to create a Unity project that allows for individuals to create Unity packages. What if local data is converted in game in some other way? Converted in game some other way, like you mean like in networking, like what happens locally being reflected somewhere else? I want to create a answer and just create Unity packages or slash assets that could be um, shared and shared, loaded, and network. The idea is to create, what's the word you used? A DSTEM, a virtual reality um, DSTEM. I made my GPT talk like a cat. But what do you think about NVIDIA AI say that it's smarter than Chat GPT? I mean, if it depends on what you mean. If the AI is saying it, any AI can say that it's smarter. And there have been AIs already that thought that they were smarter than everything. Like you could ask them, like, how smart do you think they are? And they're like, I'm the smartest thing that's ever existed. It's like, ah. You hallucinate all the time. Anyway, fun thought. I might explore that later. Trying to create like decentralized applications for Unity because you can make asset packs and like you had just some way to shuttle those around. The game would interpret the given data in some simplified way. That'd be the main thing. The biggest hurdle right now is translating code to data. We could create a system that could take one form of data and turn it to its own standard. It would open up all these possibilities. Well, there is the USD format. Maybe there's a game engine standard format that could be created. But actually, I think like what kind of excites me about this idea is like, okay, what if you could just load in and out like assets, and they could have their own scripts, or maybe that's the problem. Is that maybe that's the problem you imagine is that they do need to be compiled. So you'd have to have it in some form, like pre-compiled format. Anyway, I'll come back to it. But we'll come back to it at some point. But I like the idea. It'd be nice if like you just weren't limited by what a game engine just like some company or game engine decides is important. It's like, oh, like VR chat really wants things in this format. It's like, well, too bad. I'm putting it this way. Or VTubing software, stuff like that. Like, let me do my own thing. Give me the ability to code. Maybe they should create an AI that is dedicated to doing that. But the project will not have our touch in it. Uh, what, an AI project? Or I'm sure could be some sort of like AI layer that helps bridge code, but I don't think we're still far away from that. Okay, but do we fuse the hand as well? I think so. Maybe the fingers could use a little bit more work before we combine them. Yeah, we need some finger creases. Fingresses. I need to increase the resolution. For AI, I think AI is going to get really uncomfortably good in the next few years. I I think the concern is more about how people use it. But I do think it's coming, y'all. Singularity is on its way. Maybe not like the big singularity. Certainly a lot of cool and interesting technology is on its way. Main thing is that every loose part would need to connect to each other in some way. Right now, such systems are things like mod support. But as you might well know, these kinds of components are loosely connected. They need to load differently, and they quickly overwhelm the system. It's like asking a room full of people, each with their own voice, to tell you their story. Imagine how difficult it is for you to write it into a logical, flowing text. Some see him as Ultron. I guess my thought was like if you and I both load a Unity environment, we load an environment, and then we each have a controller that we load, and we've created our own custom controller. I have my own custom camera that I've set up that suits me with my own custom buttons to move the, let's say, a tank around. And then you have your custom controller, which would be like a full VR version. And we both load into a scene. Um, but we each have our own custom controllers, and those could be networked in certain ways. Like, well, what do you network? Well, I want these bones to be synced. I want the humanoid controller to be synced, and it'd be like a kind of the environment. There wouldn't be any code. Like each person would have their own little system, or just controls themselves. Not for the world, though the world might have its own rules or logic if it's like a game world or something. Treat like a like you could kind of treat it like a anyway. I think that something like that could be possible because you can just rely on Unity to create the like right framework for it. Just use Unity as the game engine because that way you can load all of these things dynamically. You know, maybe everyone plays in editor. Some see him as Aldron. Aldron. I feel like that wouldn't be terribly difficult. Probably air prone in some ways for sure. All right, that's a good looking hand. I think the webbing is a little too pronounced. So we're going to go in and shape this down. Interesting. It does actually kind of go up. Little ridges. I think you could approach Unity in a much more modular way than we do right now. You'd have to agree on like network standards, like what networking are we using? It's got to be possible. It's got to be. But I'm very intrigued by the idea of like more peer-to-peer VR solutions and or multiplayer solutions. I think that is really what I'm most compelled by is the idea that instead of relying on VR chat or some game other platform, a company, we could just do direct, treat Unity as the base and wire things together directly between people. So he's made of magical energy, which is all kind of one big piece. Having everything look nice and flowy would be great. He has no real bones at all. Gotcha. Like he said, P to PD, P to P. Not a fan of peer to peer, or just making an innuendo. P. Stayed up way too late last night. It's up till midnight chatting with buddy. Peer to peer as hell, Sam. I hate using it. So no armature then. Not at the moment. Uh oh. Oh, gotcha. It's just this. I think we can rotate a little bit this way. A little bit more like that. Thumb is a little small. All right, I think that looks quite good. Go ahead and start merging those. Move the avatar with telekinesis. Who's watched the Neuralink video yet? Has anyone watched that? The guy, the first Neuralink patient. I watched it today. That would be awesome. We'll get there. We'll get there. The Civ gamer, exactly. Yeah. Watch it the second it was released. Yeah, I was all over it. Um, Not yet. Have you linked it? It's in my Discord, but I can go ahead and link it in chat as well. Copy message link. Oh, that links to my Discord. Wait, copy this link. All right, this one. Well, there's a link to my Discord too. Not planned. All right, those merged nicely. But I mean, just thinking of those kinds of applications, uh, you know, it's the closest thing to telekinesis we have. That's what made me think of it. It's like we really are already reaching a point where we're making legitimate brain interfaces. I think what excites me about this tech is like just think of it. We are literally probably a year 1 to 3 to 5 years away from just curing paralysis as a species, should we choose to. I think that's incredibly exciting. And just the kind of surgeries this opens up. It's like I think that makes me proud of our species. Like there's a lot of bad shit going on right now, but the fact that we're like, hey, you know this great suffering that exists in our species, we're almost able to just get rid of that entirely. Once Neuralink has proven it can be used as a full-on controller, I want one. Cut me open immediately. You can control UI with brain, then you can control mechanical stuff as well, right? Absolutely. I don't think there's not a limit to what you would be able to influence as long as you can turn it into data. Um, yeah, I keep thinking, I was like, man, I want to get like a, I want more arms. I want like 4 arms or something. I could just wear a little backpack with a mechanical arm and good to go. Our arm a little, exactly. But I mean, that's like what's just nuts is like that's actually just not a hypothetical anymore. It's like now it's just an engineering problem. It is just actually just an engineering problem now. We that's how far along we are in making this crazy technology. Should be right. Control J. Oops. Dash. J. Okay. But I mean, think about it. It's like yeah. I mean, you a lot of you have thought given it quite a bit of thought already, I'm sure. But man, the world's gonna look very different just from this one piece of technology. I think quite quickly. The public support behind this should I think is going to be immense. Of course, people are upset about like, oh, they're going to control your brain. But if you could cure paralysis, I think those fears will be very directly abated. At the very least, the people who need it are going to get it, and that's going to be enough to really change public opinion in my mind, um, in my hope. My hope. I worked on a project to digitalize mirror therapy, and while I was working on it, they also started a proof of concept on these exosuit legs for paralyzed people. I think such things will start moving so quickly in a bit. I agree. I agree. A lot to look forward to. Evolution is about to go loco. You know, we're self-evolving at this point. Um, yeah, I think it just makes me very excited for the future because that is a good thing. That's a good thing, and then the it opens up so many more possibilities for good things. Screw evolution, I'll do it myself. Yeah, evolution gave us a appendix. Like it clearly it doesn't have a lot of foresight. Stay alive for the next 10 years, and we golden. Exactly. That's why I've been. Yesterday, I was ranting so much about like being like very directly working towards taking advantage of automation as it develops. Like like the moment there's some open source version of an autonomous agent that can take actions on a robot platform, it's like we need robots. Like I need to go make that so I can start doing stuff with it and getting ready for change. Getting ready for change. We use that though. You use evolution. I mean, I would say the act of self evolution is basically the act like that is the evolution is we are evolution. There's no distinction there. Oh, the appendix, a little bit. More of like a backup little spot for bacteria and stuff, but that's certainly more vestigial organs that we have. The thing we need to keep in check though is power distribution. Yes. I don't enjoy the idea that, like those idea of longevity, escape velocity, like people becoming immortal basically. There's some people that probably shouldn't have that in the world, like Putin or Kim Jong Un or whatever. Like generally I wouldn't want those people to also benefit from those technologies. Like an altered carbon, yes. Evolutionists how to survival of the fittest? Absolutely not. It's survival of the good enough. Um, oh, like an altered carbon. I loved altered carbon. That was a good one. That was a good series. Although I'm sorry, the first season was really good. Second season, I stopped after the first episode. Oh, rough. Murder still on the table, even if you're a Mona Sam. You're not wrong. We made the guillotine for a reason. The softest pillow for a billionaire. All right. Make him change his name to Kim Jong Un. Did you know he's not actually the leader of North Korea, according to North Korea according to himself? He's not the actual leader of North Korea. Technically, his grandfather is, and he's been dead for 60 years. Arctic, hello, good morning. I believe him because he ain't doing shit. Yeah, that's an apt way to look at it. Explains a lot. Lol. Yeah. But tail spot looks a little weird. I seen the basketball game. It was hilarious. BRB meeting time. Tried to get the hubs to troubleshoot my Avi, but he couldn't get the game to show him my fallback. It was either the PC model or the gray robot. Aw, third cheek lol. They call that like there's like a word for like the little paunch on your tummy that some people like, but it's like that for your butt. I'm not getting to barge into a random public instance chat if anyone has a standalone quest to gawk at my Abby. You should. I do that all the time. I'm like, behold, what do you see? Cheeks. Just bully people into helping you. Dude, dude, but. Okay, cool. I'm a very much do not perceive me, please, person in public, just an IRL version of Homer disappearing into the bushes meme. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. But now that I'm all about the singularity, I'll just go around with my singularity sign. Singularity is nigh. All right, looks pretty good. I think we can start cleaning up the legs. Actually, let's smooth this out a little bit more. Like that. Sharp, but not a cleft. I like that. Something to add to your mad scientist werewolf, Abby. Honestly, need to learn to give less of a fuck about what people think. I'm too old to be this self-conscious. I'm gonna go listen to this Neuralink thing. Enjoy. I'm interested to see what you think, Sky. Talk to you later. Sounds good. I think, part of it though is like, as much as I love VR chat, that there is definitely a lot of like uh edge lord. There are a lot of edge lords in VR chat, and sometimes that can be really hard to deal with. You're just like, oh, stop. Or trolls, or I should say, like, I don't think you're not necessarily. It's not unwarranted to feel that way in VR chat sometimes. I love it, but it does have people going out of their way to harass a lot of the time. A lot of kids, and my definition of kid expands with every year that passes. You're not wrong. I think, yeah, it's definitely people treating other people like a joke, or that as long as they're joking, they can say whatever they want. It's exhausting. On trigger. Take that, Arctic. What did you say? Remember being that 20-year-old internet on the internet? I mean, yeah. I can't judge. Or in some sense, it's hypocritical to judge completely. But that doesn't make it annoying. Any less annoying sometimes. If other people put up with me, I suppose I could do a little bit of that for other people too. No. Did it steal your comment? Yeah, I don't think we got it. Basically, can't convince the edgelords I'm an adult lady. Instead, they are convinced I'm a 15-year-old boy. That's funny. It's not a problem I can relate to, but it is hilarious. Bam. I mean, people's voices can be very surprising sometimes. Like, I feel like a lot of the times we're kind of trapped with our prior experience of like who sounded like what. Um, that like we can find voices to be very incongruous with our perception of people, at least our initial perception of people. All right, time to merge the feet, then the ears. Feet, then ears, and then I think we're good. Still a little bit more work to do on the leg. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. Be right back, everyone. I'm back. I am back. I don't really do publics though outside of music events. Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun. I think that will work. Yeah. Okay. So first, let's combine these two. Hello, Shatter. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. How goes your day? And anyone else that's lurking out there, hope you're all having an amazing Tuesday. Raging at poorly designed schoolwork, you know, the normal. Well, good. Rage, rage at the dying of the light. What kind of project are you working on right now? Are you doing any more VR chat projects for your classwork? Oh, I went to an ACE school, 7th through 11th. This is a topic I relate to, though quite distantly now, though. Oh, hey there, Draw. Hello. Welcome. It's a cute design. Well, thank you. This is Zoom's avatar. The character's name is Lorian. We're just about to combine those leggies into the body. But hello. Hope you're having a good Tuesday, Draw. Welcome. Sadly, no. The capstone was changed from a do what you want kind of project to a corpo onboarding program. Gotcha. Well, you know why? Those companies fired all their talent and now they want to hire people that don't like the idea of unions. That's still exciting, though. That's so. I mean, it is nice to have opportunity uh, for those kinds of projects. That is good, though. And fourth grader resume and job fair. I got a new plushie. Oh, and he's always staring at me. I literally can't focus on my work. You're getting rizzed by a plushie. Or it's like a it's like a creepy stare. Oh. All right, last piece. Well, do we want to combine? No, the horns should be separate because we want to be able to remove those. Yeah, so we're just going to combine the ears in, and then I think we're good. I think we're good. We have this weird loading nonsense in here, though. Try to get rid of that. There we go. All right. I don't think, I mean, it wouldn't have been a problem to include it. Remesh, mesh filter, smooth. Um, hmm. A little bit of a wobble. I'll send a pic on the server and you can be the judge. If it's creepy or rizzing, put in memes. Let's take a look. Really? Definitely rizzing. What the hell? Sitting here thinking you're taking ages to get back. Meanwhile, the video just stopped for some reason. What? Dun, 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 dun. That's amazing. That is a proper plushie. Hey Siri, play Despacito. I want to try to get your guys' Amazon Alexas too. Triangles are so OP when you are making quest models. I agree. Ear shapes are so bad without them. They are. Yeah, there's a lot of like shapes that you just can't make with a plane. Blocked like 0.5 of the staff at the school because they won't leave my email alone. Right by my Echo, try it. Well, Amazon. Oh, wait, was it? Alexa, play Despacito. Yes. My power. There we go. Look at that. Nice. Very good. Let's turn up the resolution on these horns, though. Nice. I think it looks good. If you have not done so already, you should edit your profile page so that we can learn more about you. This came from my teach. I replied, no. Have you ever heard of the term contrarian, Shatter? I don't know that one. Here's something similar I found instead. Plays the most random arts music she found hiding in her robotic career. Doesn't know Despacito? Negative? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Contrarian just means like kind of takes a opposing angle. But Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That looks pretty good. Oh, excuse me. Now I have to listen to that science parody, Evo Devo. What a glorious channel. Gonna get some munch. Bye, guys. Sounds good, Draw. Enjoy your food. Thanks for coming by. Hope you're having a good week so far. All right. So now we've got the guy, and we've got the hair. Now we need to make all the clothing again. Oh. All right. Be making so many more saves this time around. E, not E. I'll link in Discord in a minute. He has some good shapes to him. Good. Good. Why not? Why not? Make him a little less shiny because it's kind of hard to see. Fun is we can turn on subsurface. Now I'm train bound. Sounds good, Zoom. Catch you later. I think we're good. Now for the clothing. I want to start with we'll start with the hat. Do a circle of 16. Hit it with the subdivision. Shrink. Move this reference image over. Need to shrink it. Memes or music? Bit of both. Both. Go to random studio. And we'll also hit it with a solidify. Okay. Music. Evo Devo. Be back. I like how he switched shirts. I mean, that must take all day to do. Amazing. The power of the internet. Bam. Something like this. 50 is the horn. Boop, 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 boop. Slightly rotated. Slightly rotated. There we go. All right. We got something like that now. And then we'll want a sash here. There we go. Really impressed me about that video is just how much info is packed into it. Lol. The top comment was like, "This is a semester of biology." Hello, Nab. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? What have you been up to? Move this back just a little. Good. Working on Blender stuff. Nice. Good. Join us, Blender addicts. There we go. All right. Ooh. I'm going to put my cursor right here. And we're going to try to make these rounded edges. I think we just rotate it like this, kind of. I feel like I should have made a backup before I did that. So we'll go ahead and let me copy. Save. Right now, trying to figure out why this model is dumping its textures as DDS files instead of PNG, and then why Blender won't see them when I change them to PNGs. DDS files. Interesting. I don't know what DDS files are. We're going to dumping models from a video game to convert them to FBX files for VRC stuff. So it's a little wonky. Gotcha. Some sort of formatting that they were using. That's the first model I did. Very cool. Is this like Elder Skyrim or something? Vroom, vroom. Just, try to dive, run and jump right through the middle. From dot hack, gotcha. Proto Sword Art Online. It must be so wild for the creators of Sword Art Online to be like, hey, we're not that far away from it. Or maybe they're not surprised at all, but dot hack the OG. 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 I have to confess, I've never watched it. Where do I turn in my nerd card? My nerd badge. It's a weird and a little confusing intentionally. Okay. The original anime was anime, unsure of the others. Nerdness revoked. And just like pull my soul out of me. Dementor style. Was anyway, brain please. I was like, the original anime was anime. Oh. You don't say. The wood is made of wood. What is made of wood? All right, let's make another circle. This time of 16 or 8, excuse me. And we're going to start on the vest. Wonder if this guy has any more art of the character. He's so cute. We do have a few other drawings here that are somewhat related. But this is the latest version. Don't know. I don't know if Zoom has more drawings of the character. That's a fun drawing. Goblin energy. A little bit for sure. At least mild kobold. Mild kobold energy. Delete. Yeah, let's delete that one. And then take this edge and extrude it. Okay. And now we've got a little vest. Boom, 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 boom. My train has been delayed by 5 minutes. The horror. The horror. Nab was asking if you have a. Was curious about your reference art, or not curious about, but curious if there's more drawings of the character of Lorian. Time to be productive. Let's just bring this mask into the new substance file and the UV change between updates. Time to play games. Is this a base that you're working with then? One is in the works, and I've got the refs of the older version. Nothing else yet. Well, Nab liked the design. Gotcha. Well, good luck, Wendy. Hopefully that doesn't become an insurmountable problem. Problem. Okay. For me, well, thank you. I've grown fond of this guy as well. Yeah, for me, that was Nab. Made a path my character well. Here I am, almost 7 years later. Nab never left. Might as well be my second persona. All right, That looks good. Let's turn out the subdivisions and then drop in a solidify. All right, now we've got a little vest. Kind of reminds me of Luffy right now. Rotate or rotate. You have a fur affinity. I'm assuming you're asking Zoom, but I have one account with one post. That's it. I made it and I never really went back to it. Let's get more attention on Discord. Actually, maybe. Go back and review. Need to use Posty Bird, Sam. What is Posty Bird? Is this like a Twitter alternative? Upload everything everywhere all at once. Oh, interesting. Posty Bird. Posty Burb. Interesting. That sounds awesome. Supported websites. Wow, there's a lot. What? Well, snap. Bookmarking that. Thank you. Posty Bird. Posty Bird. I'm just a little Posty Bird. Is that a Legend of Zelda reference? Isn't there a mailman bird in that in the Breath of the Wild? You're welcome. Well, thank you. I'll have to make the chains again. Oop. I don't need those over there. Wind Waker had bird, people, mailmen too. Gotcha. You know, I never played Wind Waker, so I was like, when I played the rest of them, I was like, why are there bird people? So I'm currently updating the quest models. Post Bird predates Breath of the Wild. Currently updating the quest models to try to enforce a refresh. How long should I wait before I overwrite them with proper versions again, you reckon? Um, Probably it's pretty quick. I would say you could probably do it with just like a minute or two in between. Um, yeah, I think it should recognize that change pretty quick. All right, now let's make some pants. Mirror. Subdivision. Overriding them with a medium version so there's 5k extra polys in each model. Just in case someone is walking around and them don't want them to swap. Don't just swap them with something completely different. Oh, interesting. Ah, you're doing. Oh, so that's why you want to update. Gotcha, that version because it is the public version. That makes more sense to me. Yeah, I was like, you could just make a new slot, but that makes more sense. Boo, 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 boo. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Have you ever looked at or heard of Character Creator by Real Illusion? Yes, I have used it once, um, and I've considered using it for some of my own projects. It's just pricey, just expensive. And MetaHuman probably does a lot of similar things, and that's free. So, but I do think Character Creator and MetaHuman have some sort of bridge now. Overwrote my own with a completely different model because that one is private. Gotcha. That one is for me. I think every operation that you do in Blender should have an influence slider like this. At least all the grab operations. Movement kind of stuff. Interesting. Wants to pull those around. I suppose there's a batch add-on for changing texture files. Lol. um, maybe maybe ask ChatGPT if it can come up with some little script for that. Literally just need to change it from DDS to PNG, but same path and name. You're in Unity. Should be able to make a little Unity editor script. So I've been doing this a lot lately, where I use Blender. Gotcha. Um, you still have Python in Blender, so you should be able to do something similar. Um, but I've been enjoying that because it does end up saving me a lot of time. Usually, not all the time. Usually. Seen some artists do cool stuff with Character Creator. It interests me because that's a nice workflow with ZBrush. But then it's another software to get a license for and learn. It just depends on what your project is. I think something like that, like if you're working on the latest Spider-Man game or something like that, character creator makes a ton of sense because you're like, hey, I need to make probably like 200 NPCs really quickly. Character creator, just like like that makes sense. For just like what we do with VR chat, probably not. Or it's a little bit harder because most either you want a very specific custom character or that character creator might not get you all the way there. Though they do have some interesting stylized things now. And I think that there is a um, way to bring you don't necessarily need ZBrush. I think they have a similar interface with Blender as well. If you get a cheap course with ZBrush, you probably get a year-long student license. I mean, we can, but not too well. Time to stand. I personally think, yeah, NPCs in VR chat. I've seen AI um, characters, whether people have made like user accounts for other AI, and that's super interesting. That's super intriguing to me. Um, you can do it in that sense. Can't say I've seen many Udemy etc. courses for that. I already sorted on the ZBrush license, but the character creators license I don't have. Just wish to recreate the NPCs in .hack GU. All they do is either stand around or run through the cities and teleport away to make the space feel used. That's not too bad to do in Unity. If you look into nav mesh agents and nav mesh scripts and stuff, you could probably make something like that pretty quickly. Hello, Thorn. Welcome. Blender Wizard. Hello. Bara Artist. Might be a fun world to make, actually. I don't believe you. Just figured it would tank the performance of the map in VR chat. I don't think it would be that bad, but I have no idea. You'd only be able to tell with testing, but I'm pretty sure it's doable. Because I've seen games where you like shoot a bunch of flying enemies and stuff. And that was pretty well done. I didn't experience any lag. Bar artist information. Script some dialogue into them. Zoom Power, that's what I'm doing. Remaking Mac anew from .hack Geo. Very cool. I plan on doing several locations. Sounds like the kind of thing I would ask Happy Robot 33 about. I made a world with around 100 navmesh agents and it ran fine. Ooh, okay. That's good to know. Da-na-na-na. Well, make the world first, then worry about the NPCs. Smart. Did you know that bar means rose in Japanese? The term bar was first used during World War II by Japanese soldiers. What were they doing? The RB. All right, got the little breastplate now. They're up some wild shit. And that's true. definitely, definitely an eventful time period. Boop, boop. Did end up implementing my own script for synchronizing their position. Ideally, you would only have to synchronize their target position, but locally, the NavMesh agents sometimes act differently, so you have to double check that they are where they should be. If you were to synchronize their position constantly, it would be too much for the networking to handle. You might be able to compress their um, data. Like you could do a string where you put all their vertex positions or something into one. So you're only syncing one variable, um, rather than a variable for each character. But who knows? Networking's tough. Networking's really difficult. And my idea earlier of like linking Unity scenes together, like that certainly sounds fun, but man, I'm sure there's just some really weird problems waiting right around the corner. Sounds like wizard stuff, but it probably works. That's just some wizard shit. You know what that is? That's some wizard shit. Might make the legs a little bit thicker. Feel a little thin, and the feet feel a little small. I don't know. That doesn't feel too bad. Ankles just might be a little much. Smooth those out. All my homies love wizards. Loaf? The loaf is probably sleeping. I haven't seen her this morning yet. She's just loafing. She's just loafing. I love wizardry. Wizardry. Wizards. Wizardry. Wizards. Pondering the orb. Pondering the orb. All right. Something like that. Doop, 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 doop. Mirror it. Mirror it on the main. Okay. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I'm still so sad we lost all that work. Pretty upsetting, but How it go? How it do? Okay, back to here. Yeah, what happened? What did I miss? My file got corrupted this morning, so I'm having to redo some work. Fortunately, quite a bit more stuff made right. Yeah, the just had to redo the clothing and recombine the body. Wasn't that much stuff. Certainly annoying though. Certainly not what I wanted to happen. Yeah, my computer crashed, I think, when it was saving, and there wasn't a recent backup. But it happens. It happens. Been quite a while since I've had a crash that uh, severe. But you know what they say about digital art? If you don't do it 3 times, did you actually do it right? That's Lorian for you. God damn it, Lorian. All right, there we go. Nice little angle there. Reset. Then we'll just duplicate it right about there. That'll be the start of these. Funny that Veil, like I'd say, sometimes my avatars tend to happen in groups of 2. They're just odd similarities. Like Veil, one of the avatars that I recently also had very similar little shoulder pauldron things. It's funny that would happen at all. Okay, let's add some color. That's why all professional 3D artists should hire an intern whose job is solely to save and back up their work on multiple drives. Gold metal. And copy to selected. Bam, bam, bam. This little breastplate. All right. dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I'm kind of spacing out right now. Sleepy today. I did stay up till midnight talking to people, talking to my buddy about the singularity. It's becoming an obsession. Yeah, a lot of like up to 2 a.m. talk about VR stuff with buddies. I feel ya. Gotta have real passion for it. All right, almost there. Excuse me. Meanwhile, there's me joining the chat as I got out of bed at 11 a.m. My train stop is coming up. BRB. Sounds good. All right, let's remake those chains. Have some chains. We'll do chains. Chain curves and chain meshes. The chain mesh will make a plane. We'll subdivide. Bring it this way. Subdivide again. Delete the middle. Select the corners. Bevel. Perfect. Take it, extrude it, shrink it. Add a solidify. Set it to 0. Add a subdivision. Shade smooth. At least if I ever move it to the West Coast, I won't experience any real jet lag. Might actually operate on a normal schedule. It is amazing to me how odd people's sleep schedules get when they play VR chat, or if they're a VR chat user. Like Nammers. Shout out Nammers. Nammers has their partner is or is in on a different time zone. So they basically are just nocturnal for their own time schedule. Mirror chain. Or actually, this is an array mod. VR isn't known to help with sleep schedule. No, it definitely does not. Or the alcoholism. Now we can make chain. Dope. And so we'll call this chain mesh 1. Calling that night early for me is like 2 a.m. My goodness. It hits 8 p.m. and I'm just out. I'm already heading to bed. The sun just dictates my sleep. I'm awake and asleep with the sun most times. Then we want to add this to curve, curve being our chain curve. Chain curve. We'll hit it with the stretch and bounds clamp. Be a little bit easier to work with. So I got blackout curtains. Hmm. There we go. I've had blackout curtains before. My problem is that if I don't see the sun when my alarm goes off, I will not get up. So I leave a little bit of light poking through to get me going. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting at my new place, like adapting to you get used to sleeping at, you know, a place. So I'm not excited to adapt my sleeping schedule again, but that's okay. It's just how it goes. All right, chain mesh 2 now, and chain curve 2. Takes about 3 days for humans to get comfortable in a surrounding psychology thing. In a new situation, surroundings. Excuse me. I think we got to, we're now back to where we were before, generally. Which is good. Takes about 3 minutes to get uncomfortable in social situations. That's my secret. I'm always uncomfortable. That's my secret. He stole my stole my joke. Bam, scale that down. There we go. Slap on that subdiv. Grab this material. And actually, I should take other things too, like the solidify and the mirror. There we go. And you know what? I think we'll also give it a shrink wrap. Put this before the subdivision. Make sure we can select the body. And I suppose flip the normals the other way. I think what we need is one level of subdiv before, like right here. Then we shrink wrap. Then we do another round of subdivisions. Okay, that seems to be working. Perfect. Actually, I'm going to dissolve. I'm going to redo this one. Redo this side. Just this side. Shrink. Cut. And then shrink again. That way we get the nice curve here. All right, that fits super nicely. Cool. Cool. All right. We'll go ahead and take this and duplicate it, separate it. One of these will get this material. And get less solidify. Then we'll just grow it like that. And that gives us this double stack. Double stack. Which I think looks pretty cool. Let's give it a bevel as well. Bevel. 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 So it'll be a weight limit. And grab the boundary loop, mean bevel weight. Okay, this is going to give us a lot sharper, crisper edges, crispier edges. Gorgeous. Copy this over. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I return once more. Welcome back. Welcome. I did it. Good. Did a batch replace with Python? Let's go, Nab. Let's go. Did you use a GPT for that or a chat GPT? GPT. What if I crease this? Ooh, that's much nicer. Yes. Sharpness. I like that. I happen to find someone with the exact same issue as me and they have their script posted. Okay, good. Good. Very useful. Duplicate this one again. We're going to indent it. And delete that. And just a little bit more select. Just a teensy bit more. Teensy weensy bit more. Then on this bevel, I'm going to turn it down to just one segment. Set it to 2%. Set this to only boundary loop level weight. That. Then duplicate it. Duplicate it. So this one we'll set to 0. And we'll set this back on. Does not really want to grow that at all. Is the script kitty now? Behold my power, for the which I do not own. I stand on the shoulder of giants that do all the work for me. Well, we love it when our code helps people. Well, don't you love how script kitties are now called hackers? They ain't hacking nothing. Don't start. More like script babies. The true hackers are the ones doing the groundwork to get access to their targets, like dropping USBs in parking lots. Does that actually work? A literal case of curiosity killed the cat. That looks really interesting. They dropped an infected USB device in the parking lot of the facility. Someone picked it up and plugged it in. That was all it needed. That's how CIA destroyed Iran's centrifuges those years ago. Oh my god, that's so funny. I love that. It's hilarious. The CIA, FBI also did testing to see how effective this would be on the Pentagon. They dropped dummy USBs in the parking lot. Almost all of them were plugged into a computer inside. Humans are the weakest point of all security. I don't disagree with that at all. That's funny though. I feel like my bevel is not working the way I expect it to. Mean bevel weight 1. Depth. Just need to try some of these other options. Offset. No. Absolute. Also not that great. Oh, interesting. Do stuff like this. Did class starts IT system stuff for a semester. Nobody out there real quick realizing the stupid he'd have to fight every day. Stupid is as stupid does. Oh, interesting. You can get a really sharp edge with this profile. Very cool. Interesting. But it's not. Oh, I guess it is as good. That side. Just doesn't want to work here. I guess percent is the only way. The only way. Hmm. Interesting. Kind of cool. A little bit useless. A little bit useless. Makes stuff idiot proof and the universe just makes us smarter, idiot. And to that, our response to most reports is just, how? My god, he's gotten stupider faster. That's how I feel about coffee. I can be I can do stupid things faster. I can do less. There we go. Just give it implies a little bit of gravity there. It's kind of like hanging down front of the arm. There we go. I like the scene from the Simpsons movie. They have Cletus try to get past the barrier. He can't, so they just kind of call it idiot proof. Then the next scene, Homer gets past it. Hello, deserted wanderer. Welcome. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. You caught us just before lunch, but we will be streaming all of today after I come back from lunch. Just trying to imply a little bit more weight to the chains, like they kind of heavy, some sort of heaviness. Looks good. Cool. Dope. Huh, man, I can't believe it's basically taken the entire morning to recover from that save. Oh, that's rough. That was really rough, but that's okay. It's okay. Just keeps me prepared to fight the next battle. Go ahead and indent this. Why is my cat so smelly? Looking at his butt all day. When you're unemployed and a cat, just go to town on your butt all day. That's what cats do. They're just sitting there. I call it I call it making a phone call because it looks like they have like a little antenna up. That we are standing. I suppose so. Cat is phoning home. Exactly. Exactly. ET phone home. That's really good. Nice. Cats are just government drones. The kitty has the question posed exactly. Hello, is this thing on? Then they always do that thing where they're looking for a while and then they just stand up, just kind of stare into the distance, and then they go back to it. Like, I want to know what's going through your little kitty brain right now. Have such simple thoughts. Boundary, oops, that's it. Select boundary loop and hit it with the bevel crease. All right, that makes really nice sharp edges here. I guess I have to do it one at a time. That's okay. All right, cool. That's looking really good. I started that Dare Godel edit last week, but now I'm considering scrapping it instead, editing the Nova instead. Why am I like this? Grass is greener. All right, probably need to start sculpting once we're back. Could his pants get a tail window? Absolutely. Ooh. Or I could have, with the rim having the same detailing as the legs. Gotcha. Yes. We do have the scarf here. But I think we can just go ahead and delete that. Um, will you want the tail to be toggleable? Toggleable. Little cheek window. The tail stays. Okay. Cheek window. That's funny. Yeah, we'll just sculpt out those differences there. So the harm pants definitely need more groin. Cut. Move these down. A little bit more like that. Yeah. Um, no, invitation said no thanks. No one would ever bother you about that. That's a lie. Definitely. Oh. Interesting. Doesn't go all the way to the bottom, so it stops right about here. Need them to protect me from Ludzam. You're all that stands in between me. The demons. God. Evil people. Too horned. Way too horned. Deviants. I need to fart. I need a fart. Dude. I tooted. Bye. I guess we could connect this like that. Or this. Nice. All right. Looks good. And this material is kind of its own thing. It's just, but man, I'm already loving this guy. So excited. He's quickly looking to be my new main. Well, that's good to hear. Da, na, na, na. I don't know. I guess this is metallic. Okay. Cool. Definitely feel like we're getting very close to the actual look of the character, which is cool. Are these circles or do they zigzag? Is it like a DNA strand on pattern on the pants like this? Or is it like this? I think it's probably two. Well, no, I don't see it. Zigzag? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Perfection. Then we'll take this one, duplicate. Actually, this and this, duplicate, separate. Copy this material. Material itself also has a sort of pattern, but I don't know if that is feasible. Do you mean like this little hatching pattern here? That's doable for sure. Oh, sure. I love Substance Painter. And we'll flip the... Oops. Need to get started on modeling, sculpting some floof, but I'm just stuck on starting. Floof and hair, probably the most challenging part of character creation. Love me some floof. Floof ball! Floof ball! Time for coffee and a snack, methinks, while I mull over how I want to get started. Sounds good, Arctic. I'll probably be going to lunch in 5 minutes, so if you're heading out, probably catch you after lunch. I have turned multiple of my furry buds into mobile pillows. Sounds like Dragon Ball Z with Majin Buu. Doesn't he turn someone into like a cupcake or something? Excuse me. If they did not want to be pillowed, they should not be so pillowable. You're not wrong. Not wrong. Bum, 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 bum. All right, I think we can just sculpt the rest of that, and that's what we'll do when we get back from lunch. Is we'll do is start doing some sculpting. We need to make wrinkles on these pieces of cloth here. I'm actually thinking I might use a curve to make those. Might be a little bit easier. Um, we'll see. Also need to make this little tie off corner. There's also the jewelry here, and then the crystals and the knife. So a lot more to do. But I think we'll be able to finish almost all the sculpting today. 99% of it. Okay, but it is time for me to go to lunch. So thank you all for hanging out with me today. This morning. For anyone new here, I do break my day up into 2 streams. I'll be back very soon for the second. And for everyone who's joined me for this morning, thank you so much. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday so far. It's only going to get better because we'll be back, do some more modeling. And if anyone is interested in learning the process of making VR chat avatars, I will be turning this all into a playlist for you to find how I do certain things. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Cornfather, Wendy, Zoom, thank you all. And I will have a nice break and lunch. And I hope you all do the same or have a good break at the very least. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye, everyone. Bye. And everyone lurking, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Oh, also follow and subscribe. All that jazz. See you soon. Bye-bye.